Today we're going to be installing a factory replacement Raptor pump on an 01 Dodge. This is AirDog's answer for the guys that have got mild engine upgrades, injectors, mild injectors, and boxes on their trucks, and they're wanting to have their lift pump in the factory place. So, as with any install, when you receive your product, you want to make sure that you've, number one, received the correct product, and then you want to make sure that you've received all the parts in the kit before you start tearing your truck down. So with this one, first off, we received our pump. This is the FRRP. This is going to mount up with these two holes here, go in factory location. You get a length of 1/2 inch fuel grade hose that's AirDog's new quick connect on it. We really like these have worked out really well. Get your plumbing bag, which is with all your fuel fittings in it. Check those, make sure you received everything. Mounting hardware, and then this is a seal kit. You won't need this here, but you may need this seal kit at another time if you get a pump that has a leak or starts to leak with a little bit of age. Then one of your most important parts of this kit is your warranty paperwork and of course your instruction manual. But on your warranty paperwork, when you fill it out, you want to make sure that you put your serial number of your pump and your pump model on it, and then send this into AirDog. This is for your warranty. This FRRP pump has a 4-year express warranty from AirDog with it. We're going to get started with the installation. On the install today, we're going to show you a few basic things that we haven't covered in some of our other videos, like how to check to see if you have a pump in the tank.
Lift pump is the Achilles heel of the 98 to 02 Dodge trucks. Lack of fuel pressure is what always kills VP44. They're a fuel-cooled pump. You don't have fuel pressure to them, you don't have a good pump. And even more on that, I talk to so many people across the country that are running aggressive boxes like your Quadzilla Adrenaline or your Edge Comp box on stock lift pumps. So this pump is going to be the band-aid for a lot of our customers to get lift pump pressure up, and it's going to be a good kind of a lower cost alternative for some of our performance customers to, they don't have to buy that $600 or $700 full lift pump kit. They can get out, get some fuel pressure, get running up and down the road. But it's also going to help a lot of our, our stock customers that don't have any performance upgrades done to their truck, and they just need, fuel pressure to save the VP44. So the biggest thing that Dale and I are going to do today here, starting off, is we're going to show you where the stock Cummins lift pump is located and how to tell whether you have an in-tank lift pump or a block-mounted lift pump on your truck. Because if you have an in-the-tank pump, this FRRP isn't going to do you any good. Stop right there. Later on the video, in your install, if you realize that you do have an in-tank pump, button the truck back up, give us a call, let us talk to you about your options, because you're going to have to drop the tank. This truck has on the block pump, we're going to remove the fuel filter canister here, show you how to identify that, and go from there. Stock fuel canister now, to give us a little bit more access, what you want to do is you want to disconnect the inlet side line here, 17 metric, get it disconnected, and then disconnect the output line going right straight to the VP44 pump. That'd be the easiest way to do it. Then disconnect your fuel heater and your water and fuel sensor. And with anything electrical on a vehicle, you want to make sure that you've got the negative cable off the batteries, so we don't have any crazy ECM things going on here. So we're going to take these 2 metric 10 bolts here, top of the canister, and pull the canister out. This is the stock lift pump right here on a VP44 equipped Dodge. Now, one of the easiest way to tell whether this is, if you're having problems figuring it out, whether this is a lift pump or not, if the lift pump is located on the side of the block, always has an electrical connector going to it. That's always a telltale sign that this is actually a pump. The reason why it comes in question for some people is when Chrysler does the in-tank retrofit, what they do is they put a small silver plate here and mount it to this block, and it also has fuel lines going in and out of it, so it kind of looks like a pump, but it's not a pump, it's just a fuel junction block. So what we're going to do is we're going to unplug our electrical connector here first, then we're going to remove these 3 bolts that hold the pump on,
They're 7/16. Then you've got a 10 metric bolt here that is just a fuel support line. Then the inlet side coming from the tank going to the pump, 17 metric on the back of that, and get the pump out. This is a stock Carter lift pump. Comes on the VP44 Dodges. As you're removing this one came out real easy for us, but if you're removing this and your studs, they start to turn on you, don't seem like you're gaining any ground on the nut, you can actually come underneath of them, put a 7/16 wrench on the bottom side of it between the pump and the plate, and that'll hold the stud for you and let you remove the pump. Okay, we're going to build our pump outside the truck here, just easier access forward. I'm going to show you how to put the outlet side of the pump together. You got 3 fittings that are going to go together here for this. First fitting has an O-ring on it. That's the first fitting that goes into the AirDog. You want to put O-ring side into the Raptor. Then you've got a 90-degree elbow here, JIC. It goes on next onto the fitting and then points upwards towards the fuel canister if it was oriented in the truck. And then you got a push to lock fitting. These are all 7/8 here. So you'll want to put that together, tighten them up. This is how the pump is going to sit on the truck. The inlet side coming from the tank, you'll get 3 sealing washers will come in this kit. 2 of the sealing washers are actually going to be for the stock banjo fitting. We're going to use it back. So we're going to get this pump mounted in the truck and show you how it looks. We're going to put our fuel bowl together now before we put it back in the truck. You'll receive some sealing washers that'll come with the kit, 2 for the stock banjo line and 1 more for the quick connect fitting that will go on your fuel bowl. We're going to insert this, tighten it down, and before we do that, before we put it back in the truck, we're actually going to put our quick connect line on the fuel bowl, and then we'll put it in the truck and fit it up. We've got our Raptor pump installed here. Okay, the 2 mounting bolts are Allen heads. They're 3/16. And a little while ago we told you to have your fuel fitting pushing up. Now that we've got this installed and we've kind of learned a little bit more about it, really the best way to do this is point your outward line up towards the top of the pump, and the length of the hose you'll want to keep that because what we're going to do is we're going to have to turn back around and come back to the fuel bowl like this. So we actually put our line on in here while we've got a good open space. Our electrical hookup hooked up. Our line coming from the tank is hooked up, 17 metric on it, and 2 new return banjo washers on it. So we're going to try to set our fuel bowl in here now, see how this all fits up, and go from there. I'm going to show you a proper bleeding procedure. Get fuel up here to the pump now that we've got everything opened up. This is your return line on the VP44. We're going to loosen that up, 3/4 inch wrench. We're going to bump this a few cycles. Once we get fuel here, we're going to shut that off, and we're going to start the truck and show you exactly what happens, because the truck's going to die here because of the air pocket. Then we'll show you how to bleed it out up top. Then we'll come back and get a fuel pressure reading, double check everything. All right, just bump it, Dave. You can hear the pump running. And we're just looking for fuel. Tighten it down, let it kind of create a vacuum, and then open it back up. Bump it again. Alright, got a little fuel there now. We'll go ahead and close her off. Tighten down the return line bolt. Alright, we're going to start the truck now. And like I said, it'll probably die, then we'll show you how to bleed them out from up top. Alright, go ahead and start, Dave. Alright, so you already got air up top. AirDog's working again. We're going to open up the number 1 and 3 lines. Again. Again. Oh.
We'll open up the number 4 line too, just in case. Again. Alright, got a little fuel at 4 there, so we'll tighten it down. Truck starts, it's going to run rough for just a second. We'll let it run for a couple seconds, then give it a little throttle, and it'll smooth right out. Alright, David, again.